He can give me the happiness you never could, she murmured, squeezing my hand across the table like she was offering comfort, and handing me the end of our marriage on a silver platter at the same time. We were at Sea Salt and Sage, waterfront lights throwing the Miami skyline into glitter behind her shoulder. Lobster thermidor steamed between us, champagne bubbled in flutes, and for months I'd imagined this exact night: candles, a stupidly expensive meal, the kind of little gestures that say I love you without ever having to shout it. I'd been planning it for weeks. I'm Owen, 29, a paramedic in Miami, the kind of job that teaches you to expect the worst from life and still trust that people are basically decent. Turns out, that trust is easy to lose when someone you've trusted decides to tell you they'd rather be with someone else over dessert. She looked unreal that night in a navy dress I'd never seen before, hair pinned to one side, laughing at something I'm pretty sure I paid for. For the first hour we were the couple everyone thinks we still were, sipping wine, trading jokes about work, making small plans about a vacation we'd never booked. Then the subject shifted, not subtly, not politely, toward Derek. Derek is the coworker. Derek is the startup wunderkind with the MBA, the man who speaks in campaign strategies and market segmentation like it's poetry. Derek, apparently, thought about the future in a color palette I couldn't even name. And Hazel, between mouthfuls of lobster, lit up talking about him the exact way she used to when she talked about us, except this time, her words were about another man's brain instead of our shared life. At first it was the harmless kind of name-dropping, you should hear what Derek said in the meeting today. But 20 minutes later she was cataloging late-night brainstorms, weekend conferences, the ways he pushed her intellectually, as if being admired for ambition were a love language I wasn't fluent in. She described conference rooms, post-it notes, slides and strategy, and I sat there nodding because that's what you do when the person you love is excited. You listen. You hold hands. You laugh politely at their jokes. You pretend a slowly growing ice block in your chest is just indigestion. He just gets it, Owen, she said, reaching across the table to squeeze my fingers. Her thumb stroked the back of my hand like a benediction. Her words landed like a verdict. I kept my voice even, kept my smile in place, because there's a strange dignity to staying calm while your world rearranges itself around a sentence you never heard coming. I signaled for the check like a man who had already decided to pay for the last thing he'd ever share with someone. Then, while the bubbles from the champagne trembled in her glass, she leaned in, too close, the warm breath of wine and salt on her cheek, and whispered it as if it were the most natural thing in the world: he can give me the happiness you never could. Not loud enough for the table to hear, but loud enough to echo in my skull for months. Happiness. As if our 4 years, the nights I scrubbed off blood from strangers and came home smelling like antiseptic, the afternoons I sat with her, helping practice slides at 2 in the morning between shifts, the mornings I transferred savings into a course she couldn't afford, were a placeholder on the shelf until something shinier came along. She spoke about ambition and growth as if the two of them belonged to a different currency.